Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to the second episode of Rimworld Basics, a series where I'm taking a look at Rimworld Alpha 12 and giving a little how-to tutorial series on how this game can be played. Can be played, maybe not should be played. I'm not the be-all, end-all of ideas and whatnot, but I definitely can give you a little glance at how you can start a colony. So here we are. We have our three colonists, Manbear, Lindsay, and Boston. And they also have a little pet. Check this out. Look at this little guy. Tamami. Tamami, a little female Labrador, age 3. Adorable. Okay, pets are new in Alpha 12. If you've played Rimworld or seen Rimworld before, then pets are new. You can tame pets, you can tame animals, you can tame this squirrel if you wanted to, right down there. But that's for a little bit later, of course. We're going to do an episode about pet taming. First things first, we've made our world, we've selected our characters, and now we've got to get into the game itself. So here we are. We have a bunch of things going on. This is your basic look. As you can see along the bottom, there are a few different, what are these, tabs? Tabs is a good word for it, with different things you can do. There's a menu. I usually just press escape to get that, but you can also click it there. It looks like research, statistics, history, world, which is the basic map we saw before, factions, the different factions around who may or may not attack us or join our colony in the future, animals, so you can manage your animals once you do tame them. As you can see, Tamami is down there. Outfits for our different colonists. Restrictions, which is, I think, a new thing as well. You can basically tell them when and what they can or can't do. Work, which I'll go over in a moment. And architect, which is the basic menu we're going to be using a whole lot. This includes all of these things, 12 of them. Orders is a big one, where you learn how to, or you tell people what to do. Mine, haul things, cutting plants, harvesting, chopping wood, hunting are things we're going to be going over very soon. Planning is also another one. It gives you a little bit of idea of what you want to do. You can sketch things out kind of without having any of your colonists actually have to worry about doing any of those things. And then the cancel thing, which is nice, the cancel button. So if you want to draw something or whatever, and then if you press cancel, you can click and drag over things, or you can just click out certain ones. So that's cool. So let's start off with our colony. I'll get to the other things momentarily, but with our colonists down here, we have 3 different people. If we want to take a look at what they can do, we can go to their character. And so this person, Boston, can't really shoot. We're talking about the weapons, first of all. As you can see, we've landed on this planet with a few basic supplies and weapons to get us started. A bit of food. There's packaged survival meals, medicines. There's some silver, which is like the currency of this world. Actually, there's a lot of silver down there. Some steel, which is good to have. Some wood over here, which is good to have as well. And the 3 of us and our pet. And let's take a look around the world itself a little bit. You can use WASD to move around, and you can middle mouse button to move around if you click and drag. And so yeah, there's that. There's all that. We have our cursor here, which we can use to select characters, single characters, or select a bunch of them. We can look at the things around, steel slag chunks, anything. Basically anything. It's going to give us information in the bottom left of what those things are. So yes, as I was saying, first things first, we'll look at our characters. We look at the 3 of them. I'm looking at shooting and melee over here just to see kind of what they do, what they like to do, what they want to be doing. So basically it looks like Manbear is our best shooter. I'm going to right click the survival rifle and press equip, so he's going to go get that. Also right now I should say I've pressed spacebar, which stops and starts time. Space, 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 space. That's a good thing to note. There's also down here at the bottom, the play button, pause button, which will do that same thing, and then 2 times speed and 3 times speed, which will speed things up if you're in a rush or whatever. So out of melee, it looks like our better melee is Lindsay. She's going to get the knife. We're going to give her get the knife. Why won't you get the knife? Why won't she pick it up? Oh, I'm not selected on her. I see. Lindsay? Oh, I was. Get the knife. Incapable of none. Brawler. You seriously want that? Do we have 2 brawlers? Okay, good. Anyways, I guess we're going to get the pistol. Lindsay, can you grab the knife? Oh, she's probably thrown up. Yeah, she's sick. They were in their crypto sleep caskets, it looks like, and she was a little bit sick, but that's cool. So you can click on the vomit on the ground. There's vomit. Yeah, at the bottom left, you can kind of see it says vomit of Lindsay ×3. So she puked a couple times on the ground. That's okay. That's all right. We got it. We got it going on. The next thing we're going to want to do now that everybody has their weapons equipped is I'm going to take a look at all the things on the ground. Silver, we want to collect all of that thing. So I'm going to, right now it has a little X on it, which means it is unallowed right here. Forbidden. Colonists will not interact with it. So they'll just leave it there unless we allow them to do it, which I'm going to do by clicking on it and then pressing F or this little button down there, which means that now they'll be able to pick that up. And if you want to collect all the things of a type, you double click it, you'll be able to select all the ones within your view. And I'll press F on all those. I want to get all the medicine, F, all the food, all of the steel, and all of the wood as well. I want to collect all that stuff. Now, what are they going to do with that stuff? That's a good question. If we go to Architect, Zone, Stockpile Zone, or Dumping Stockpile Zone, both of these things will allow us to create an area in which the colonists will store those items that we have and anything that we allow them to put into those stockpiles. Now, where do we want to put this stockpile is a question. We look at our map, we can see that there's a bit of mountains around. We're kind of in the middle section here, which might be a good place for us. We can kind of wall ourselves into a little home here, maybe. That might be a good thing. We got lots of trees in here. We got lots of area to grow things. That's another thing I should note. If you scroll over areas at the bottom left, you'll see different things. Soil, brightly lit, and grass, rock rubble, grass, vomit, anything. Rough limestone. We can't grow on limestone, but we can grow on the soil and stuff like that. So I think I'm just going to come up to this place. This looks like a nice big area of mountain. We might be able to dig into it and make a few rooms inside, as well as build out towards this place and probably wall off here, and here, and we'll have this as our main home area. So let's put our stockpile here. I'm going to put a little 8x8 area, and now it's turned into a little bit of a square, as you can see. It's a little bit different colored. You can change that if you want down here, so you don't have color. There's all these buttons in the bottom. Visibility of zones. I'll leave it on for now, just so we know where the zones are. Let's go into that before I do anything else. So this is our stockpile rules, basically. It's going to allow different things or not allow different things within the stockpile. For now, I think I'm just going to leave it as everything. Let's see what kind of corpses we can get. Human corpses. I don't really want human corpses to be in there. Chunks are fine. Actually, I'm going to make a different one for chunks. Animal corpses. I'm going to put everything. Just put everything in there. Put everything in there for now. It's fine. We will adjust things as we go later. But for now, I just want to get everything kind of stockpiled away. So those people will get to work doing that. Let's take a look at these buttons down here real quick. This is the beauty display. It's going to tell us what the area looks like in terms of beauty with a bunch of different numbers. See where piles of rubble are. It goes down quite a bit. And just where random regular stuff is, it's like a 1 or a 4. Apparently people really like trees. That's a good, beautiful thing to have. That's one thing you can do. What is this? This is the room stats. We don't have any rooms yet, so we'll come back to that later. This is the home zone expanding. I'll get to that in a moment. And this is the categorize resource readout, which is this thing up here in the corner. See, we have 0 silver. As we go along, you'll be able to see the different materials and resources we have will list along this left side here. Alright, so another thing we've got to do in our zone things is let's make a dumping stockpile as well. Might as well do that. This is going to put our chunks, give our chunks somewhere to live. As you can see, I'm going to put this as Actually, no. Let's go back to our other stockpile. We'll take the corpses off of it because that's apparently going to be in our secondary dumping stockpile. And allow rotten. Nah, that's okay. That's a little complicated. If you want to go through and see yourselves, there's a bunch of different options. You can do the toggle down menus to see exactly what, and you can be very specific about what goes where. As we get a little more detailed, you'll see me going into these menus a lot and getting specific about what goes where. But for now, that's just the basics. Different kinds of weapons, different kinds of apparel, oops, and different kinds of body parts, interesting. Chunks and corpses. So yeah, okay, all these things here are chunks, by the way. Chunks of rock, chunks of slag, metal, and stuff like that. So they're going to get to work doing that. In the meantime, we're going to take out the growing zone because we're going to want to grow some gardens. So yeah, dang right, we're going to want to grow some gardens. We got to get our food process going on. So I'm going to make a few 7x7 areas of growth. Not right there though. Oh, by the way, that's another thing. See, I'm left clicking and dragging. You get your little numbers to see where it is. If you want to say, oh no, I don't want that, you can, while you're still holding left click, right click, and it will disappear itself, which is pretty handy to note. So yeah, I'll make those different things. Do a little right click to get rid of the menu. And then I will click on this and say, click the growing button down here. Growing zone number 3, I want you to be growing, oh, let's say rice. And growing zone number 2 is going to be growing strawberries, because you can eat those without even cooking them. It's pretty handy to have. And the first one is just default to potatoes, which I'm going to leave. And down here, I am going to also grow another area, and I'm going to grow Zerigium over here. This is a medicine plant, which is good to have as well, because we did get a few meds when we dropped on the planet, but we are going to want more, that's for sure. Okay, so that's the growing zones and the stockpile zones. Pretty decent. Now, one more thing we should do is grab our little Tamami, our Labrador, and look at the training menu, because this is a thing we're going to want to do. I would like to train you to be obedient. Now, we're hoping that someone will be able to do that. I'm not quite sure. Let's look at the work plans for a moment. If you click on work, you see your 3 colonists down here, and you see the list of jobs that can be done. From firefighting to research, from left to right, it is the priorities. So they will do things in this side of the list before they do anything else along the way. Lastly will be research, and they'll get to it eventually for sure. Now you can get even more intricate, and you can click them if you want them to be doing it or not. I want everybody to be flicking, of course. It looks like our doctor is Lindsay. She's probably the best doctor. It lists their skills if you hover over. So yeah, she is our best doctor with 5. Not so great, but that's all right. Do we have a handler? Yes, we do. It looks like decent handlers all around, so we might as well just put everybody on handle. Although there are things we want to prioritize first, cooking and constructing, so we'll leave them off handling for now so they can focus on other things that need to be done. Everybody's hauling, everybody's cleaning. That's great. So yeah, it looks like Man Bear is going to be our animal specialist, which is fitting because he's bear in his name, so that's pretty cool. And hopefully we'll get to taming Tamami at some point. Looks like I got the wrong thing. Tamami! There we go. Looks like he'll get around to it eventually. We can also train those animals to release, rescue, and haul, which is handy. Handy to have another helping paw around the colony. Also in the work, you can get a little more complicated. Click manual priorities, and then you can further prioritize from left to right based on what you want people to do first, second, third, or fourth. If you left click, it goes up 1. If you right click, it goes down 1. You can turn people right off of things if you want. But we're going to leave you as the full-time doctor. I usually put everything as 1 for firefighting, 1 for patient, and 1 for flicking, as well as 1 for any of the decent doctors, or 1 for the best doctors, maybe 2 or 3 for decent doctors, just so that you can get them to do the work. You can also micromanage people to do things. And if they don't have any number in here, they won't even do it. They won't even consider helping you out. So it's always good to maybe put them on 4 if they're okay at it, just so you can be like, hey, you go doctor that person. That's our doctor. We need them to stay alive. Things like doctoring and cooking, if they're not good at it, they might mess it up. Same with gardening. So it's nice to have people who can actually do the job, doing the job. I'm going to put number 1 for cooking, number 1 for constructing, and number 1 for mining for those things, just because we want those things to get done. I'll put 2 on plant cutting, and I'm going to put 2s as all of the cleaning and hauling and stuff like that, because we want people to be doing that stuff for real. We don't have any cooking or constructing to do yet, so everybody is just doing the work of hauling stuff, which is great. That's what we want them to do. And it's going to be the end of the day pretty soon, so we're going to need beds. But I'm going to save that for the next episode of Rimworld Basics. Thanks for joining me today. I know we're spending a bunch of time in the menus and stuff like that, but it's good, I think, for knowledge to share that stuff. So until next time, guys, this has been Armor Time. Take it easy.